All right, let's take a look at the solo. So first of all, it's all in A minor pentatonic, so nothing crazy in terms of scale-wise, but it's got some really cool stuff in it, obviously. So the first lick. Okay, so I'm going to bounce on this A. And I'm going to get to the C with my first finger on the high string, and I'm going to bend that up to about a C sharp, and then stop it with my pick hand. So, all right. Next lick is the really, really cool one, I think. And that's kind of tough. So the first thing we do is bend this A up to a C, so it's a minor third bend. And then vibrato it really nice and wide. And then we really need to get the control on the bend there. So I'm going to do that bend a few times. Back down to the A, to the G, to the E, G, back to the A. So that whole lick. That takes a little bit of work to get the control over that minor third bend with the vibrato. Now the next part. Alright, so it's all, once again, A minor pentatonic. I'm going to bend this D up a whole step. I'm going to do the first part of that phrase. Alright, so we've got this D bending up to the E and then pulling off to the C. Back to that D bend. Actually, there I want to grab two strings with a double stop and my first finger and bend it a little bit. I'm going to do that as an up pick. So then, so once again, that's that D to the C, A, back to the C. So think about, you're kind of bending almost all the notes except for that A. So when that whole phrase. Okay. All this is going to take time. The real key is to just listen to it and really memorize each phrase. Now, right into the fingering number 1 of the minor pentatonic scale. I'm going to bend the G up to an A in vibrato once again. That's really the key, is getting that vibrato nice and big and wide. Then a lick. So A, G to pull off to E, C, then to E. So, and the trick is when you're on that A, I'm sorry, that C, just kind of tweak it a little bit, bend it. So, oop. And I'm going to end the phrase right here by borrowing on the 5th fret and the 2nd, 3rd string. So once again, a whole phrase. All right, now here we've got, it seems like he's ghosting this. Or just, I kind of like this. So we're getting out of the A minor pentatonic scale for just a second. I'm going to go A to G sharp to A again. Then C, D, back down, A, bend on that C again. So it's a real slow. All right. Now this last lick is kind of tricky. And he plays the note a little bit out of tune, but it sounds totally cool. And you can tell it was definitely live. So that one took me the longest, I think, to get comfortable with. And the phrase, so I have this C on top, big bend up a whole step, then kind of down to the half step to the C sharp. And then vibrato it. Then pull off the C, release the bend, and pull off to the A. And pick that. So one more time. Yeah. Okay, now the last lick. All right, so we have a G to A bend. Pull off to the E. Then a bend from the D up to the E. To the C to the E, C to the D again. To E, C. So. That phrase once again. So the whole thing. Well, I hope that was helpful in learning this guitar solo from Eric Clapton. It's often one of my favorite records, John Mayall and the Blues Breakers featuring Eric Clapton. And it's, it's a classic record. I think we should all know it. And if you don't know it, you definitely want to get this record. Really some great stuff, really inspirational for me. Throughout my whole life, every time I listen to it, I find something new and something really amazing. Especially because Clapton was so young on the record. It's really great stuff. Obviously, it's the archetype for the rock and roll guitar sound. Marshall and humbuckers like a Les Paul into a Marshall. So definitely some great stuff. I am using the really cool UAD plugin for the Blues Breaker by Universal Audio. I think it sounds really great. And so yeah, if you want to check that out, that's what the sound I'm using here right now. Not essential, of course. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe to my YouTube page here, or go check me out at jeffmcerlain.com. You can check out my online classroom called The Juke Joint over at TrueFire. You can check out all my TrueFire courses as well. So thanks. See you soon.